Today we have this GT4 RS back in with us for the second time in 2 months. The reason is because we already fitted some upgrades to this car and now it's back for more. It's back for our full circuit handling pack kinematics kit. Now the GT4 RS out the factory is one of the more track-focused models that you can buy from Porsche. So you might be wondering, why do they need these parts to make it even better out on track? And there's actually quite a few reasons for this. One is that this is ultimately still a road car. That is what it's sold as by Porsche. So although it's honed towards the track compared to all of its other models, it is still very much a road car when it leaves that factory. So it can go more aggressive for people that want to get the most out of them when driving hard, either on the road or the track. But when you're in maximum attack mode, that's where these parts come in to really get the most out of the chassis and improve the handling balance of the car as well, which is a really important factor with this car. At the front, compared to a GT4, we actually have a suspension assembly from a 991 GT3 RS. So this kit has the hydraulic nose lift fitted, like on the 991.2s, and a much shorter spring assembly to account for that nose lift module. This means that in order to keep the bump chute ratio of the assembly at the ride height from factory, we have a very limited actual ride height range. So we can't drop this car very low at all. So out the factory, we can only drop it about 10 to 15 millimeters lower than it comes as, which is still too high for track really. So as part of our kit, we have 4 springs. One of the features of these springs is that they're shorter than standard, which allows them to go lower. So now at that point, I know what you're probably thinking, which is, yep, but if the reason they limited the drop of the damper was to protect the damper itself, then why would a short spring not cause an issue with the damper? Which is a very fair question. However, as part of our kit, we have combated that by designing a spring cup that alters the bump to jute ratio of the damper. So when you fit our spring cup alongside our top mounts with the shorter spring assembly, it actually pulls the damper back out of the body and puts it back to the OEM bump to jute ratio. This means that we can run that shorter spring and still have the full range of that damper travel, not having those issues. It does mean that we can't actually get the car back to as high as it came out the factory, but for this use case, we don't want to go back there. We'd just be refitting the springs at that point if we were looking to sell it on and go back to stock ride height. But for track use, we want to get that lower ride height. We want to get that body down, lower the center of gravity, and also just get that chassis a little bit firmer so we can get it through the corner much flatter at the lower ride height. So in that case, it's much better to have the shorter spring with the spring cup fitted to get the bump chute ratio of the damper back to where we want it, so we have full travel and full compliance from the OEM dampers still. Final benefit of the springs that we provide in the kinematics kit is the spring rate themselves. So the GT4 RS out of the factory is a lot stiffer than a Cayman GT4, so a really, really stiff chassis. However, despite being a much stiffer chassis, it still experiences a slight imbalance front to rear with the spring rates that are fitted. So at the factory, it's a 100 Newton front spring and 140 Newton rear spring. And that causes a little bit of chassis imbalance, and it can cause a little bit of a pogoing effect as well, which we'll get onto very shortly. But whilst we're still at the front, our front spring is actually stiffened very slightly over OEM, so that under really heavy braking out on track, it prevents that dive on the nose. And this does 2 things. It prevents the dive itself, keeping the whole car much flatter under heavy braking, keeping all 4 wheels much better loaded. And what that also means is it increases the ability to trail brake the car into the apex. With the stock front spring, as you really get on the front brakes and load up the front tyre, it starts to unload the rear axle. And if you then start to trail brake at the same time, that can lead to corner entry oversteer. But if we stiffen that front spring slightly, what it means is we really level onto the brakes, we're loading that front tyre up, but instead of the whole chassis pitching forwards, it stays much flatter, keeping weight on the rear tyre, which means you can keep on the brake pedal, turn the car in, and the whole car becomes much more stable as you trail brake towards apex. So trail braking is a much faster driving technique out on track, and it means that you can basically unlock a much better lap time just with that spring change alone, just giving that stability and additional grip back into the chassis. But the spring rate changes are most apparent at the rear, because not only are we improving the performance of this car on the track and the road, we're also fixing an inherent issue with the chassis. The GT4 RS actually falls into a very small category of cars that has led to a swathe of owners asking us to fix an issue with the car out the factory. And this very rarely happens. The most notable time this has happened more recently is with the 992 GT3 Touring, where customers all over the world got in touch asking us to make a solution to make that car softer because they deemed it just far too stiff for general road touring use. So off the back of that, we developed our soft spring conversion kit for the 992 GT3 and GT3 Touring, which has done a really nice job of just softening that chassis off slightly, making it much more compliant out on the roads. The GT4 RS falls into that category because we had an awful lot of customers get in touch about an issue with the rear end out the factory, and it was just getting to a point of frustration, and they wanted an aftermarket solution to resolve the issue. That problem is a pogo-in and bouncing effect going through the corner and after hitting a compression or a bump in the road. And this pogo-in effect effectively is the rear end feeling really overly stiff and bouncing down the road. The rear end is oversprung and underdamped. So there's two solutions to that. One is that you can effectively uprate the rear damper to be a much firmer damper so that it can control the really stiff spring rate at the back of this car. But the other option is to just simply soften off that rear spring to match the damper rate and the valving inside the OEM damper instead. Now, you might be wondering a little bit as to why this is an issue in the first place, because this is a very expensive, highly developed track car by Porsche. So how could this issue be in the chassis out the factory with the spring of the damper effectively not matching quite perfectly? The rear axle is very GT4, the front axle is very 991.2 GT4 RS. This meant that they had to stiffen the whole car up. So as a solution to that, they had to fit a much stiffer spring rate to match the much stiffer front spring rate from the GT4 RS. But the rear damper assembly was still ultimately from a GT4. So it's been revalved, but not quite enough to match that really firm spring rate. So what we've done is we have instead softened off the rear axle slightly so that it can actually be controlled by the damper, which completely removes this issue from the chassis in one hit. When this is fitted alongside our kinematics kit, the front and the rear spring changes bring the whole distribution a little bit closer together, which really adds balance back into the chassis. Another issue that a lot of owners have actually reported back out on track is the rear end feeling really light and loose under really heavy braking. And that's actually due to that front to rear imbalance in the spring rates. So with the correct spring rates fitted, you can get rid of that issue under heavy braking because we're stopping the dive on the nose and we're keeping the back from pogoing and bouncing. So instead of having that pogoing effect after a heavy braking zone or through the corner, instead what we achieve with the spring kit is effectively a much more stable car heading into the corner. And then as we get back on the power for corner exit, we've again got a much more stable car able to run the curbs or hit any compression and then not have the after effects as the OEM car does of that bounce and that pogo, which can ultimately either lead to oversteer or just remove confidence from the drive in total, and the driver will really back off due to it feeling really unsafe and quite aggressive out on track. So with the two spring rates fitted, much nicer balance of the chassis, much more grip. So a really nice kit to fit this 4RS, and it just completely solves that issue without the need to replace the rear damper whatsoever. If you drive your Porsche out on track as well quite aggressively and you have lowered it, even with the stock suspension system, if you've just lowered it that 10 to 15 millimeters, something you may have actually experienced is the bump steer on corner entry that the Porsche GT models suffer from, all the way from the 997s all the way up to the 992 GT3s as well, including the 718 GT4 RS. What this feels like out on track is as you enter a corner after being on the brakes, you turn the car in, and as it starts to load up the outside front tyre, you actually start to turn the wheel again to get the car back in, and it feels like understeer, but it's not actually understeering. What's actually happening is as you're loading the outside and unloading the inside, the wheels are actually starting to bump steer and point back away from the apex. So the more you load the car, the more it's trying to steer back away from the apex, so you're having to keep dialing in more and more steering angle as the corner progresses until you hit apex. With the bump steer tower ends fitted that are part of this kinematics kit, they actually completely get rid of that bump steer. So the solution is effectively when you turn into the corner, it completely eradicates bump steer, and as the car starts to load the outside and unload the inside wheel, the bump steer isn't there. So as you turn the wheels, they stay there as the car loads. So you can stay on angle and keep the same orientation on the steering wheel. This was really, really obvious and very clear to see as part of our GT4 series when we fitted our full kinematics kit for the GT4 at Silverstone with Leighton at the wheel. So we'll show a little bit of that right now on screen. And as you can see from the two overlays, before the kit was fitted, which should be on the top screen, Leighton was constantly having to feed that steering wheel in and chop at the steering wheel to get the car around the corner with the standard setup. As soon as we fitted our kit, lowered the car and corrected the bump steer with the bump steer tower ends, his steering wheel movements became so much more smooth and precise, and he was just holding the steering through the corner, letting the car rotate and then into the next corner. And the difference on screen was so good to look at because it just verified all of the data and all of the science behind what we've been manufacturing. For him to actually get in the car and to have such a great visual aid for removing bump steer from a chassis and the benefits of actually doing that from a driver's perspective was really cool to see. So they're a really important part of this kit as well, just to eradicate that bump steer and just really make the whole driving experience much smoother and therefore much faster. As always, once you have the parts fitted to the car, it's really important to do a full geometry alignment and suspension setup on the vehicle, because with the parts fitted, the settings are going to be all over the place due to it being assembled completely from scratch effectively after fitting the kit. So it's very, very important that you get the car fully aligned once the kit is fitted. In terms of getting the setup on the car correct, it does depend on how you use the car. So are you using it completely on track, on the road, half and half? Have you got top mounts and toe arms fitted? Have you got a full kit fitted? Is the car completely stock? It also depends what tyre you're using. Is it a PS4RS just for road use? Is it a Cup 2 for more track use? Is it a pure track tyre or even a slick? All of these different compounds require different geometry settings. The GT4 RS as well actually requires different geometry settings to a GT4 simply because the spring weights are so much stiffer than a GT4. So that is the kit now fully fitted, and we've carried out a full track suspension setup on this car as well to suit the owner's requirements and needs for the car. If you buy the kit from us or one of our traders, we will also supply you with a full suspension setup sheet with our recommended settings after asking you a few tailored questions to make sure that those settings are perfect for your use of the vehicle. With the full kit fitted, we now have a much more planted and precise car, which is much better at handling on the road and the track. It manages its tyres much better, doesn't prematurely overheat the outside edge, meaning that you have to replace them sooner, and it also fixes the underlying issue with the chassis out the factory, which is that rear bunny hopping that it goes through the corner and over compressions and through bumps. All of that has been done with our kit for a fraction of the cost for just uprating the dampers, just to remove the issue from the chassis. So with this kit, you can remove the issue from the chassis and increase its handling performance substantially.